everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. It's Meredith, and I'm here with kind of a fun little mini project I am going to start. There might be more than one part, most likely, to this little series, but I have been wanting to make a favorite things book similar to what Rachel did on her channel, and I will link her posts below, her videos below, because I'm basically going to just sort of follow along which she did because I love it so much and I thought it was a really fun idea. I'm not sure if I will add a bunch of textiles to mine, but I do have some favorite fabric and papers and vintage items that I want to keep bits and pieces of. So anyway, I have this old book cover that I got from Jacqueline at Souvenir de la France, and it's a beautiful old, extremely rough book. This I peeled off because this was kind of the, I'm not sure if that's an end page, if it goes this way or what, but anyway, I will maybe try to salvage a little bit of this and use it somewhere in the journal, and I'm going to be covering up, probably this part for sure when we make the binding. So it will have a probably a soft cover fabric binding, and it will most likely be kind of like a hidden spine type thing. Since there is no spine, we'll just make our own. And I'm thinking I want it to be kind of chunky so that I can add stuff to it over the years and have lots of, pretty decorative papers and vintage items that I can keep stored in here. So anyway, I thought it would be fun to kind of just get cracking on it and see where we end up. So if you're here to hang out with me a little bit, maybe grab some coffee or whatever time of day it is, maybe a glass of wine, and see what we can come up with. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is put together a little bit of packing tape on the inside. I'm going to try not to tape it down, and this way it will help to reinforce our spine and keep it mostly straight. I'm not going to go all the way to the very top. Okay, and then we'll flip it over, and that's pretty straight. So this is going to be about a 2-inch spine, maybe not quite 2 inches. And it looks kind of crooked, but it's going to just be like that. So now I'm going to tear a piece, and we will go, I don't really want to cover up the whole brown part. And just a little bit long, so I'm going to trim it. Sorry if I'm not super loud. I'm just kind of talking to myself. I'll cut this one this time. Easier. And that one is not long enough. Let's try again. Sharon Hirth also has amazing how to make a soft spine journal cover as well. So if you've ever watched any of her videos, you can learn a lot from her. Just do a little trim on that part. Okay, so fold that part over. Sorry, did not I'm going to slide off camera. Okay, so that's all going to get covered up anyway, so we're good. All right, next step. Okay, I do not know what happened to the sound on that last section of video. Here you can see we have our inside and back inside cover glued on, and I love how that looks. I've had this Florentine paper from Roxy Creations for so long. I've been saving it, so I just love how that looks. And our little spine is looking good. It's about 2 inches. So I think that's going to be perfect. So now I am going to kind of audition some fabric pieces to put on the inside, and I'm loving this. It would be, you know, kind of folded like so, because we want to cover up that little tape part. So I do like those colors together, and I think that looks like a little bird right there to me. So this one is definitely a good possibility. I also have this piece that is really pretty. Actually, I would probably put it this way, maybe. Let me see, I can't tell. I think this is the right side. And then again, obviously it would be like that. So that's kind of fun. This is a really heavy-duty, kind of canvasy linen paper. I got all these in a pack from Rachel years ago, and I have just never used them. Also love this. Let's see what this would look like when we tear it. So that's kind of fun. Just very neutral, and a nice weight, and blends well. See how hard this is to decide? This is super fun. I'm not sure I want polka dots, but yeah, no, I think this is a no. I'm gonna save that for something else. And then I've got these two ticking pieces, and I do love that because it really brings out the pretty red. So that's a possibility. Or then there is this, which is a little brighter. Kind of think I might like this better. It's a little thinner though. Okay, I literally cannot decide. I like all of them. I also was thinking that maybe this could be like the little wrap cover on the back, because that goes really well with this. So I think I'm going to hold that one out for a possible front cover. So let's just take a little look here and see what we think. Boy, I just really can't decide. I think this might be a little too stiff, so I'm going to put that one aside. I don't know if I like this brown with that gold. All right, guys, dark red or light red? Okay, I'm gonna have to step away for a minute and then I'll come back. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with the darker red because it's a little richer, and this fabric is a little bit more sturdy. So I'm just going to, I kind of want to trim that piece off, and I don't want this roughly edged, so I think I'm going to just snip it and tear it. That's kind of what Rachel usually does. So I'm going to take that right there. Then we get kind of a nice fringy edge, which I love, and I will just trim off those little pieces. Oops. So that's going to go there, and then we want to go just about maybe here. I'll do it this way. Sorry, this is kind of off camera. Remember, this is not my forte, is doing crafts in real time. I'm just really not that good at it, but here we are. All right, that might be just a little too wide. So I'm gonna take one more section off. Oops, I didn't get it quite. There we go. Gotta love that fun ripping and tearing noise. Okay, cool. That's definitely the wrong side. Okay, so let me grab my, all right, let me grab and I forgot to push record when I was gluing it on, so I'm just gonna smooth this little bit out and make sure we have all of our creases here. I'll just flip it over and give it a little extra love on this side. Cool. I love it. It looks so fun. Okay, so now the next step is choosing our papers and getting ready to put our signatures together. So I will gather the papers that I'm thinking of using, and we will get started on that part. Okay, now here is the fun part, picking these amazing, beautiful vintage documents. So most of these that I'm going to show you are from packs that I've purchased from Rachel, and this is from 1838, and it's this incredible yummy color. I actually scanned it, so I will always have a copy of it. I think there's a watermark right there. I don't know if you can see it or not. So I'm hoping to use that. And then this one is just as amazing and stunning, and it says 1817. And there's the original marking stamp. And then it's long. It's like super long. It's like almost 12 inches. And here's the back side. Isn't that writing just exquisite? And I love this like seal. It's so cool. I'm not sure if I can tear these up or not. We will see. And then I have some smaller papers. This will be something I'd have to hinge in, but how cute is that? And amazing. Giovanni Rossini. So beautiful. And then I have some of these other just little scrappy pages. This one's attached still, so that can be part of a signature. This one, I think, yeah, it's kind of coming apart, so I'd have to reattach that. And then I have some of this very old, I don't know, I think it's rag paper, I'm not sure, but it's super discolored, so it must have had some water staining or whatever. But I would have to obviously trim those down, which totally could just trim off, or fold in this way like she does with a lot of her papers that she wants to retain their integrity. And then this is for sure rag paper, and this is so cool. It's like it's all attached. I didn't know they did that with books, but apparently they did. So I'm not sure. I guess I would just split it apart at the top, and then we'll go from there. And then this I thought had some really, this is like a poem or something, a verse. I was looking to see if maybe it was part of a missal. No, it looks like some sort of an Italian grammar book, I think, of some kind. So I might use some of that. And then here is another kind of raggy piece, so that one's a single. I'll put that aside. And then here also another double page, which probably would have to go like that. So maybe, I don't know if I'm not going to do like a ton of pockets or anything, because this is really the type of book that you attach your special things to, like fabrics or other fun pieces of ephemera or paper. Otherwise it'll get super bulky, and this page is just unbelievable. I might have to scan that, and so I have a copy of that. This is definitely some kind of a poem. Okay, so I think I will end the video here, and we will do signatures next time. I will kind of trim up a few things, and we will go ahead and start putting them in, and then I will pick the fabric for the back side. I'm kind of leaning towards either this, which we did not use on the interior, which I think would be really nice, just super neutral, and then I could maybe attach some like part of a lace piece, or maybe something a little more blingy, or we'll go with this gorgeous piece. I can't decide. It's so pretty too. I'm gonna have to iron that if I'm gonna use the whole thing to go up to the very top. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed this little quick sort of fun, different style craft with me, and have a wonderful day, and I will see you again in part 2.